Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today on Around Kansas, join us for a story about a new television series called Yellowstone. Then join us for a story about catfish and just how big they grow in the state. Next, we'll have a poem from Ron Wilson, and we'll end with a look at Lewis and Clark and the 4th of July. Stay with us. Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com. This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life. Well, hello again, and happy 4th of July. Now, I'm not actually here today. We taped this ahead, so anyway, happy 4th of July, and I hope it's a safe one. You know, around Kansas, there are all kinds of 4th of July celebrations going on. Of course, in Wamego and down in Council Grove, and of course at Lake Shawnee here in Topeka, and they're just all over the place. So if you're traveling to one of those, travel safe. If you're going to fire off fireworks, do it safely. Follow the instructions. Anyway, so happy 4th of July. Let's see, what else is going on? Well, we're well into summer now, and Kansas is a great place to come and visit. So if you're out of state watching this, why we invite you to come visit our state. It's not a travel through state. Everybody says, well, it's flat and you just drive right on through. No, 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 no. There are a lot of attractions around the state of Kansas. And the topography here, the topography and geography, you're going to find out is a whole lot different than you imagined. So anyway, if you're coming to Kansas, please do so. If you live in Kansas, I encourage you to take a day trip. And that is drive out to somewhere, enjoy the fun, and then you can drive back home in that same day, save gas, and anyway, you'll have a lot of fun. And that's part of what this show is all about. It's about Kansas, its people, places, and things that make it a great place to live, work, play, visit. And anyway, I'm here in Topeka, Kansas. My co-host, Deb Goodrich, is that way. And I always point that way because this studio, that happens to be west, and she is out west, and that's where she home bases now. And she's got some stories today. Let's see here. She's going to do a story about Yellowstone. And this has to do with the new TV series starring Kevin Costner. And it's an interesting TV series. It's on the Paramount Network. And I watched the initial show, and I think it's a show that will grow on you. It has to do with a rancher and Native Americans and the tug of war that goes on about the lands. And then she's going to talk about catfish. And of course, in the state of Kansas, catfish, there are a lot of them in a lot of streams and lakes and all of that. And they can get to some pretty huge size. I know at a lot of the reservoirs, the catfish hang around at the outlets, and they can get up to 6, 7 feet long. So catch one of those on your bamboo pole. And then she's going to talk about Kansas oddities. I have no idea what that's about, so I guess I'll watch that with you too. So that's all coming up, and this is Around Kansas. Happy 4th of July. Take a look at these.
Ag Promo Source is a unique group of marketing specialists with one mission: help your ag business grow. Each affiliate has their own area of expertise, and they work together to bring you advice, products, and services. To get started, visit agpromosource.com. Ag Promo Source. Together we grow.
Welcome to Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center, right here in Oakley, Kansas on I-70 at exit 76. I-70, after all, is America's Main Street, and we're right here on Main Street for you. Now that I'm an Oakley resident, I still come in almost every day, and I sit and listen to the conversations of the people around me. You know, the guys who are talking about the big elk they just bagged, or the folks who are taking their kid to college for the first time. People just traveling up and down the highway. Real people, just like you and me. And they find just what I find here, real people to serve them. There's history, there's scenery. We hope you'll stop and see us soon. Welcome to Oakley.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. Your stem cells, your health, your life.
Welcome to Kansas, gateway to...
The new Paramount series, Yellowstone, debuted this month, starring Kevin Costner as John Dutton, a fourth-generation Montana rancher who controls the largest contiguous ranch in the United States. The Duttons face constant attacks by land developers, clashes with an Indian reservation, and conflict with America's first national park. For Kansans, a couple of familiar faces appear in the series. First, there's Buck Taylor, who might as well be a Kansan. He has been such an avid supporter of Kansas history and involved in so many projects promoting Kansas or our history, promoting sites in Dodge City, for example, and of course, as a cast member of Gunsmoke, Buck is like family for most of us. The second is Moses Brings Plenty. The versatile actor and activist is no stranger to film and television, having had roles in Thunderheart, Hidalgo, and Hell on Wheels. Born on the Pine Ridge Reservation, Mo is a direct descendant of Oglala warrior Brings Plenty, who fought at the Battle of the Little Bighorn. While on the rodeo circuit, he met his wife, the former Miss Kansas Rodeo, Sarah Ann Haney Brings Plenty, and they make their home in eastern Kansas. Check your local channel listings for Yellowstone and follow the series on social media.
It's your cowboy today.
You don't act like the man from the stories I've heard.
That's the thing about being a grandfather. I get to do all the things I wish I'd done with my children. Woo! And the things I regret, I get to do different.
You were right. They're building a city.
Everyone's forgotten who runs this valley. I need you more than ever.
You have me. What are you doing here?
Same thing I always do. Fixing something you couldn't.
Stagnation is death for a town, and the Duttons are the ones killing it.
The new chief is hungry for a fight.
I'm gonna buy your ranch, and I'm gonna pull down every fence. It'll look like it used to, when it was ours.
Just tell me who to fight.
Everyone.
A man must stand with his people.
This ain't checkers, son. This is chess, and you're about to play it with masters.
All I do every day is fight for this family.
If you were winning, I wouldn't be here.
I don't regret one sin I'm committed. It's the one I'm about to commit that worries me.
Mess with my family. I will chop your family tree down.
Progress. Can't stop it, John. Watch me.
Yellowstone, a new series Wednesday, June 20th at 9 on Paramount Network.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Fort Wallace was the fightingest fort in the West. Fossils, Indians, soldiers, scouts, wagons, trails, pioneers, stories. Discover the story of Fort Wallace and the people who served here, the people who fought here, the people who settled here. Wallace County, where the past is present.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
This is one of my favorite bits that I make. The name I give this bit is the Derby bit. I had a roan head horse that was running through the bridle with the chain bit, and I made this bit here. It really worked good on that horse. I sent this bit to Donnie McNeese, who breaks in cattle for Jeff Smith and Ike Cox, and I said, ride this bit on a lot of horses, see how you get along with it. They did. He said, Bull, that's really a good bit. Fits a lot of horses. Then I give this bit to my good friend Brent Wright, who I make bits for, and I said, see how this bit will work on a reining horse. I call him up a couple months later. I said, Brent, how you getting along with that bit? And he said, good. He said, you don't need it right this minute, do you? And I said, no. He said, good, because I'm down here in Texas and I just won a big futurity riding that bit. And when Brent got home, he gave me the buckle that he won the futurity with. I'm really proud of that buckle that Brent Wright gave it to me, and also that he got along so good with my bit.
Buffalo Bill Cody earned his legendary title in Oakley. Bring the family and come celebrate Oakley's pioneering history and unique geography at two sites, the Buffalo Bill Cultural Center and the Fick Fossil Museum. Cody's statue marks his achievements and welcomes visitors to the Cultural Center. The Fick Fossil Museum houses world-class fossils and artifacts. You'll find Oakley at the hub of U.S. Highways 83 and 40 and I-70. Stop for the legend. Stay for the day. Discover Oakley. This segment brought to you by the Western Kansas Wildlife Travel Center in Oakley.
Summer is synonymous with fishing. Even though folks do fish all year long, there's something about the lure of the lake or riverbank in the summertime that is hard to resist. Kansas waterways host thousands of fishermen and women each year, some looking to catch that record breaker, whether it be trout, crappie, bass, or a prodigious catfish. Catfish have fascinated me since I was a child. In the Virginia mountains, my daddy and cousin Larry, the fish whisperer, would leave out at night and set ley lines across the New River. They pulled monstrous catfish out of the water. Those cats had whiskers 2 feet wide, and their mouths and bellies looked big enough to swallow me whole. It made me think twice about sticking my toes back into the water. Some similar monstrous fish have been pulled from Kansas waters too, and Tim Lilly wrote in Game and Fishing magazine a few years ago that the Kansas River is home to some mighty big fish. The Kaw, as many Kansans know this river, wrote Tim, has something no other totally in-state river can boast, record-setting blue cats. The Missouri River, which serves as Kansas' northeast border with Missouri, has blues. In fact, Tim continued, it's a good bet that the huge blues that turn up in the Kansas River have journeyed upstream from the mighty Mo. It also has big flatheads and channel cats, but its waters are not totally contained within the Sunflower State's borders. The Kansas River is. More than any other fishery in the state, this meandering, generally off-color stream, with what some will tell you is a truly living nature, is home to a legitimate triple threat, monstrous examples of blue, channel, and flathead catfish. Tim went on to describe the huge fish, 80-plus and 90-plus pounds of blue cats pulled from the Kaw. Then there was a nearly 35-pound channel cat. With record catches like that, Why isn't every angler headed for the caw? Well, you have to know what you're doing and where. Tim's guidelines in that article hold true today. Your best bet will be to take someone along who knows the river. When you can't do that, be as careful as possible and let someone know where you intend to go, how long you intend to be gone. There are stretches of the Kansas River where, if your boat were to run aground on a sandbar, they would seem as isolated to you as the Amazon and remote South America. And make sure you take a cell phone. And when you get that big cat, share it with us on Around Kansas. Not just the photo. I mean, when you fry that fish up, we want a taste.
Summer is busy at Tarwater Farm and Home. We have just about everything you'll need for your summer projects, and we're consistently competitively priced. Tarwaters can help make your grass and garden grow, and we have a huge variety of equipment to cut it. If you have a farm, Tarwaters has the products and equipment to keep it going strong. And our expanded parking lot will make it even more convenient to shop. So come see us at Tarwater Farm and Home in Topeka.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Welcome to the Jerry Thomas Gallery and Collection, where we showcase my renowned frontier military and Native American artifacts. Behind me you see a touch of fall. We put together not only the beauty of Micah Highwalking, who is the first graduate of West Point of the Northern Cheyenne people and a dear friend, but also a Hudson's Bay blanket that I have here in the gallery. The unique opportunity that I was able to have was we unveiled this painting and surprised Micah at Custer Battlefield, a true honor.
Hi, I'm Kim Mandring with Hardy Insurance. I'm here to help you with all of your farm and ranch needs. When it comes to protecting your operation and your family, you need a name you can trust at a price you can afford. Call me today or visit hardyaviationins.com.
With nearly 100 years of broadcasting excellence, Ren Radio is now live on the internet playing hit songs of the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Join Jack Diamond, Matt Collins, Les Glenn, Frankie C., Antonio Barber, Wings Callahan, and the real Don Steele for some of the best music ever recorded. Hear it at rendigitalmedia.com or get the Ren Oldies Radio app in Play Store or App Store and tell Alexa, good times and great oldies on Ren Internet Radio.
This segment brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
When the open range era came to an end, the homesteaders and settlers moved into Kansas and started building something that would change the life of the cowboys forever. I'm referring to fences. And this poem is based on the true story of the invention of barbed wire. It's called The Death of Open Range. Let me tell you of a time when open range was in its prime. Cowboys rode their horses forth and drove the huge herds of cattle north. We could ride all over this great land, unfettered by the human hand. Then a farmer over Illinois way invented something that's used to this day. His name was Mr. Joseph Glidden. He was doing the homesteaders' bidding. He took a pair of heavy pliers and wrapped barbs around a long piece of wire. The barb's sharp points kept stock in or out. It could be used for fencing all about. For the open range, it was a turn of events, because barbed wire made it easy to string a fence. Barbed wire succeeded more than Glidden had planned. Soon fences crisscrossed the open land. The Old West changed with Glidden's invention, and it caused the cowboys apprehension. No more could we ride over free open range, and the cowboy's role would be forever changed. Homesteaders and nesters scarred this land and changed the role of the old cowhand. The cowboy's work continues on, but the days of the open range are gone. That open range would have no more hope. That's why cowboys called barbed wire the devil's rope. Happy trails.
The land here tells a story. It offers up fossils of extinct beasts, ruins of native villages, battlegrounds and building sites. Walk the shore of historic Scott Lake and imagine the native peoples on the hillsides above you. Listen, you can hear their voices on the wind. Discover the secrets of Scott County on the ground where history happened, or in the comfort of the El Cuartalejo Museum. I promise it's an amazing story.
About 6 jumps later, I was laying on the ground and thinking, boy, my shoulders sure hurt. I kept waiting and it didn't get better and didn't get better. I'd heard about Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center on the radio. Got down there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and by 11:30 the procedure was all over, and it just kept getting better and better. And within 6 weeks I was back digging post holes and doing the other hard work that I'd been doing before the accident. And I'm really pleased. It's really worked out well for me.
As fourth-generation farmers themselves, Heinen Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. So when it comes to quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia, call Heinen Brothers Ag today, 800-760-4964.
Sure Crop Fertilizers was started by my father, Don Sherman, and my mother, Shirley Sherman. Family business that started in the 80s. We predominantly focus on plant nutrients and what we can do to give growers better responses with the fertilizer dollars that they do, and what we can do to make those things work better for that grower. We're based out of Seneca, Kansas. We work with growers in their soil analysis to figure out what they need, and then we can put those in a blend that gives them the best results, and so that we can deliver that direct to their farm so that they have those nutrients where they need them, when they need them, and so that they can apply them in a manner that's very efficient to them and works well in their planting systems and what they're doing. Sure Crop Fertilizers has been around for a long time. We always say we're big enough to take care of everything you need, but we're small enough to do it quickly. You can get a hold of us at 1-800-635-4743. Our website is surecropfertilizers.com, and you can always email me at Corey@surecropfertilizers.com, and with any questions you have, we're glad to answer and work with you.
KFRM is one of the largest farm radio stations in the nation, dedicated to informing and entertaining rural listeners from northern Oklahoma to southwestern Nebraska. You can catch KFRM in many ways. Of course, 550 on the AM dial, streaming at kfrm.com, or on your smartphone by going to the TuneIn Radio app, or on Ag AM in Kansas on Tuesdays and Facebook every day of the week. KFRM, tune us in. You'll be glad you did.
Brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. To join today or more information, go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Where was the first July 4th celebration west of the Mississippi River? If you answered Kansas, you would be correct, according to History.com. Camping near present-day Atchison, Lewis and Clark marked the occasion with their men. 6 weeks earlier, they had left American civilization. The party of 29 men, called the Corps of Discovery, had made good progress, traveling up the Missouri River in a 55-foot keelboat and 2 dugout canoes. When the wind was behind them, the keelboat's sail was raised, and they sometimes managed to travel 20 miles in a single day. By early July, the expedition had reached the northeastern corner of what would be Kansas. The fertility of the land astonished the two. Clark wrote of the many deer, as plenty as hogs about a farm. On this day in 1804, they stopped near the mouth of a creek flowing out of the western prairie. The men asked the captains if they knew if the creek had a name. Knowing none, they decided to call it Independence Creek in honor of the day. The expedition continued upstream, making camp that evening at an abandoned Indian village. To celebrate the 4th of July, Lewis and Clark commanded that the keelboat cannon be fired at sunset. After an extra whiskey ration, the explorers settled back to enjoy the peaceful Kansas night. In his final journal entry of the day, Clark wondered at the existence of, quote, so magnificent a scenery in a country thus situated, far removed from the civilized world, to be enjoyed by nothing but the buffalo, elk, deer, and bear, in which it abounds, and savage Indians. The next day, the travelers resumed their journey up the Missouri and into the history books. The name Independence Creek remains, and a marker notes their campsite.
Happy 4th of July. Deb and I will see you somewhere around Kansas.
ripe tomatoes.
Closed captioning brought to you by Ag Promo Source. Together we grow. Learn more at agpromosource.com.
Tornadoes, we're the best part